Y'all get ready?
Yes, you get ready.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the LovelyT TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the LovelyT TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Breakfast Club, they're in their feelings. So Jess Hilarious came out March 2nd because the Breakfast Club and a lot of celebrity-based podcasts, excuse me, they signed a deal with Netflix. And the thing with Netflix is it's an exclusive deal, meaning that once they sign to Netflix, they cannot have any of their Breakfast Club content anywhere else. They can't have it on YouTube. It has to be solely on Netflix. They got to come up with other content for their YouTube channel. So because of that, their views have tanked, and they're feeling the ramifications of that. So Jess Hilarious had talked about it on social media, and it seemed to have kind of pissed off Charlamagne too, but whatever. Let's go ahead and listen to what Jess had to say. Hold on.
I ain't gonna lie, yo, since Breakfast Club been on Netflix, man, our engagement, our people be, all the fans that we built up over time, well, that they built up, I just got here, that they built up over time on YouTube, oh my God, they feel neglected because Netflix was like, nope, we want all of it. Y'all can't have no other social media presence, none. So now we gotta find other content to do that can go on our other platforms, but it's okay because Jess Hilarious got that in a bag, shorty. So make sure y'all tune into Jess's Thoughts. I started doing a segment where, I ain't gonna lie, yo, since Breakfast Club.
All right, so y'all just watched what Jess had to say. And then, so what else has been going on is that Charlamagne is upset because a lot of people have been telling them, like, because I guess they do Twitch as well. So he's been going live on Twitch. And so they've been telling him, like, no, we're not watching y'all on Netflix. We go to Netflix to watch movies. We come to YouTube to watch y'all. And so he feels like, you know, people are hating. He says that YouTube is hating on them. YouTube is suppressing the Breakfast Club and the algorithm. Now he got all these conspiracies. All this stuff that me and regular YouTubers have been going through for years, now they're claiming it's happening to them. And so Charlamagne was talking to his homeboy, Andrew Schultz, and basically complaining and crying tattooed tears about what's going on with their numbers and how black folks or whatever, people won't move to Netflix to go watch them. So let's go ahead and watch this clip here.
Dismiss Netflix. And the crazy thing that's funny, the funny thing to me is like people will be like, I'm not watching Breakfast Club on Netflix, but then you constantly tweeting about the America's Next Top Model doc. You know, you're constantly tweeting about Stranger Things. You're constantly tweeting about the Diddy doc, whatever the fuck it is.
What you said though, it's like change is always going to be tricky, and people are going to be frustrated with change, and eventually they'll adjust to it.
And a lot of it is just narrative, Andrew. People, somebody will get online, create a narrative, put something in somebody's head, and then everybody will run with it.
No way.
Yes.
When has that happened ever? I can't fathom that even exists.
I'm just saying, it happened. So now everybody's like, yeah, I agree, but no, I just want everybody to ask one simple question to themselves. What are the viewership numbers on Netflix? And it's not just for Breakfast Club. This is for Joe and Jada. This is for Chelsea Handler. This is for, anybody that's over there. Bill Simmons. What are the numbers on Netflix?
They're not going to tell you.
Now, when you get the numbers on Netflix, then we can have an honest conversation on whether this is working or not. And by the way, if it don't work, I will be the first to tell you.
Yeah.
Because I want us to win. If sometimes we gotta be the first over the hill to see what's over there, cool. But I'll be the first to tell you if it don't work.
Yeah.
Trust me, trust and believe. Okay? And I will be like, yes.
Also, did anybody ever watch the whole Breakfast Club on YouTube, or were the interviews chopped up?
Exactly. It was never the full show.
Right.
It was always segments, like so. And even now, when you go on the Breakfast Club on YouTube, we do put up clips. We put up clips on. So nothing has changed on social media.
That's how I would organize Breakfast Club on Netflix. I I would have it piecemeal and.
Well, Donkey Today is piece.
For me, what I would do is like you click on Netflix and it's just like click on Breakfast Club and it's just like you know how it has episodes and seasons.
Oh, it does have that.
But what I would break it up is like okay, Donkey of the Day, and then there's all your Donkey of the Days. Okay, interviews, and then there's all the interviews, and then there's full episodes where you could just watch the full episode. But that way, if you just want the Donkey of the Day, you're running that. If you want an interview from 3 years ago that was fire and you just want to watch it again, you get that.
Oh no, but there's no back catalog. That's what people don't realize. Like when you go like Everyday Daily.
That's crazy. I would have bought the back catalog files now.
You can't. How you buy a back catalog? It's all over the place.
Yeah, but
it's
bought it
15
anyway.
years all over YouTube. You can't do it.
Oh,
and that shit, come on, back catalog Breakfast Club would be too crazy.
Yeah, but you're not getting more money for it now.
Yes, you are.
I mean, you're getting like YouTube views and that.
Exactly. I mean, you're still monetizing on YouTube. But when you go to that daily on Netflix, what you see is the Breakfast Club full show. Then you see Donkey of the Day. Then you see the full interview. So those are the three.
I love it.
Because they organize it like how the podcast.
I would have just licensed it like they do Seinfeld or Friends or whatever. I would be like, yo, give us your whole back catalog, and we're going to give you a licensing fee for the length of the contract here. And it can also be on YouTube. But I just want you guys to get into the flow of always coming to Netflix to watch your Breakfast Club stuff.
Well,
that's what I would have done.
I don't want to say too much because I have ideas. And the last time I had an idea, which I knew was going to happen, like I knew YouTube was going to, I knew, and I said there's a brilliant ideas episode where I was like, you know what, I'm not going to say this because I don't want to give them no ideas. I knew they were going to suppress the content that went over to Netflix. It just makes sense.
What do you mean?
They suppressed the content, like the content that's still, because we still put clips up on YouTube.
Oh, but they're not letting it get love.
At all. No. And why would you?
But there must be some sort of like, what is the government body that regulates content on the airwaves? FTC?
Man, get the fuck out.
FCC.
Who they don't give a fuck.
But there should be some FCC, like if you're unfairly throttling content, like that's...
But they've been doing that. They can do that anyway. And by the way, they're not regulated by the FCC. What are we talking about? YouTube's never been regulated by the FCC.
They must have some sort of
regulation. That's always been the issue.
I think that's
None.
Television.
None.
Not for streamers.
FCC's for radio and fucking TV.
There wouldn't be a Brilliant Idiots if they were.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yes, man, go watch The Breakfast Club on Netflix. You know, listen, guys, we're doing great. That's all I can tell you. And stay tuned for, more announcements considering Breakfast Club on Netflix. Because you know what my ultimate goal is, baby. And just let you know that's right around the corner.
What?
Okay, anyways, y'all, let me... So, my thing is this. I don't feel bad for Charlamagne or the Breakfast Club. They get a tiny violin for all I care. The problem is he thought that he was bigger than the social media program. They thought that they had such a loyal fan base that it would follow them wherever they go. And that's not always necessarily the case, okay? YouTube is one of the most convenient, let alone one of the biggest platforms out there. And so when people come to YouTube, they come to YouTube to watch TV shows, kid shows, but people really love commentary, right? And there's tons of people here who do commentary now. It used to be just regular people. Now you have celebrities and rappers and, and the main thing that keeps the commentary space together is also the comment section. You want a place to kick it and chop it up and, laugh, just like how in my comment section, we have over 7,000 people watching. You want that space. Netflix doesn't provide that. I don't want to listen to a podcast on Netflix, per se. You know what I'm saying? And granted, you can say, to be fair, well, if there's a podcast on Apple or, Spotify has a comment section now, but like, let's say Apple, right? If you're listening to like Apple Podcasts, there's no comment section. You're just listening to the audio. Yeah, but that's a different vibe. Because when you're trying to listen to a podcast that is just audio, a lot of times you're walking, you're exercising, you're in a different type of environment. My mind is trained that when I put on Netflix, I'm about to Netflix and chill. I got on my pajamas. I'm in my bed. I'm not I'm not going to wind down to listen to a podcast. Usually like when I'm listening to podcasts or commentary, like I'm up doing something. I'm cleaning the house. I'm cooking. I'm in the shower. Hell, you know what I mean? I'm doing something. But like Netflix is like you're kind of conditioned to like sit down and relax and enjoy a Netflix movie, a Hulu movie, an Amazon Prime. You're not going to put on Netflix and be cooking at the same time per se, or put on Netflix and be cleaning, because you got to watch what you're watching on Netflix. So, you know what I mean? So it just doesn't even feel right to like go on Netflix and just listen to people talk or whatever, or watch Breakfast Club. And another thing is this. You can't get mad at what's going on. You ran after the bag. Netflix paid him and several people who moved over there a hefty bag, because right now Netflix is in competition with YouTube. I heard about this Netflix deal that they were trying to strike with podcasters and things like that. So I knew it was coming down the pipeline, but they're trying to get as many content creators over there because they want to be in competition with YouTube. Same way Rumble and Twitch and all that stuff, got people to go to their platforms. So you chose the bag, and now you're crying because your audience did not follow. Because see, the thing is, they probably paid Breakfast Club a hefty bag. So he's desperate now because they probably pitched him on all the views, the analytics, and they thought that was going to translate, that they had such a solid fan base that would translate over there to Netflix. And they're finding out that it's not. Not only are people not following them to Netflix, now y'all don't even got no views on YouTube. But see, that's why, he wanted to double dip. Perfect, Miss Neek. He wanted both bags. He was trying to double dip. And this is where I say all money's not good money. Okay? I was offered the same thing when I first went over to Spotify. Y'all remember when I was over there doing the Spotify green room? They were flying me out. They were doing a lot of stuff. I've been to the Spotify offices in LA, and really cool people. I really enjoyed meeting with Spotify. And back then they wanted to give me a deal as well, an exclusive deal. Kind of, similar to like DJ Academics, because he has like a deal with Spotify, right? But this would be exclusive. So I couldn't put none of my videos, my commentary on YouTube. Everything had to go on Spotify. I could use like my YouTube channel for like I could post like 10-minute, like how Joe Rogan does, post like 10 minutes of the podcast, but then everything goes over there. So if I had to do a video or commentary, you get maybe the first 10 minutes, then all y'all got to go to Spotify. And they're going to pay me X amount of dollars to do that. But when I thought about it, I'm like, one, and I'm not saying they're going to pay me anything like what the Breakfast Club got paid for the Netflix deal. I'm not trying to compare myself. Breakfast Club, they're in a whole different league. I'm just, one chick. But, they're going to pay me X amount of dollars to do an exclusive deal with Spotify. And the more I thought about that, I was like, can't do the exclusive thing. I don't mind putting my podcast on here, or putting, if I do a video on YouTube, also putting on Spotify. But as far as moving my whole audience here, like what built me was YouTube. My audience knows me from being a YouTuber. I'm not going to veer too much from that. Just like when people try and get me to do live streams on Instagram. For what? I'm not an Instagrammer. Oh, you should do more stuff on TikTok. I'm not a TikToker. I'm a YouTuber. This is where I started. This is my bread and butter. This is where people know me. I'm not going to leave my initial platform and go build up another platform elsewhere. For some of the big white YouTubers, that works. They can go from YouTube to TikTok to... We don't have that luxury as black content creators. Y'all not going to follow us all over, and we're not going to get the same bag. Because they can move on to TikTok and get all types of sponsorship deals. They can move on to Instagram, get all types of brand deals. I don't get a whole lot of that stuff. And that's okay. So I had to move a little bit differently. So I think his issue is that he tried to take that exclusive Netflix deal. He was looking at the money, but he wasn't really thinking in terms of the audience. Your audience, you built your audience on YouTube. You went from the radio world to y'all being on YouTube. We've been watching y'all for the past damn near 15 years on YouTube. People are not trying to watch you on Netflix. Maybe some of the hardcore might, But people like a choice. I have some people who they don't do YouTube. They're solely Spotify. Like some of my truckers, they really like Spotify because the podcast, they're driving, things like that. So I got people where that's their thing. T, make sure you upload everything you upload onto YouTube onto Spotify because I prefer Spotify. You want to be able to give people choices. So if he wanted to move to Netflix, that's cute, but it shouldn't have been exclusive. You always want to leave your audience with the choice. That if you want to watch me solely on Spotify, cool. But I'm not going to stop what I do on YouTube because this is my main core group here. My main core fans are on YouTube. So I think that's where they messed up. And it's like, that's how I had to look at it. Even though the deal was cool, but long term, nah. I would have lost a lot more than I gained. Because who's to say all y'all would follow me there? I remember, and I learned that a long time ago. I remember when I first started that's how I got the channel, LovelyT 2013. Remember when they took my channel down? Back in 2013. Snatched up my channel. Taught my copyright music because my intro was, "Isn't she lovely?" They tried to hit me with that like 5 times back to back. It was a bunch of bullshit. That was during the whole Gamergate where they were coming down and copyrighting gamers. And so I was swept up in that because my intro song. Snatched my channel. Took away my monetization. And I had just been approved for monetization maybe like the year before or something. Finally starting to make a little bit of money. Snatched all of it away. Thank God I still had my IT job. And I remember I was so mad. And I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to Daily Motion. I don't know if y'all, put a ticket if y'all remember when I moved to Daily Motion. I was like, I'm leaving YouTube. Come to Daily Motion. I'm monetized over there. Come to Daily Motion. Y'all remember that? When I tell you, I had maybe at the time, I think maybe I had about 8,000 subscribers at the time when this happened in 2013. When I tell you maybe 10 people came to Daily Motion, I had like 3 comments. It's like, hey, y'all. Hey, T. Nobody went to Daily Motion. They're like, yeah, no, we love you, but yeah, we're not moving to Daily Motion. So I learned a long time ago. Half y'all won't follow me across the street. Somebody said Daily Motion, who? Look at the babies. The babies don't even remember Daily Motion. Yes, Daily Motion at the time was supposed to be YouTube's rival. This was back in Daily Motion. I had a Daily Motion account. It was monetized and everything. And I was like, I'm going to start putting out my videos on Daily Motion. Y'all come watch me over here because they had demonetized my YouTube channel. And I was putting out my videos on Daily Motion and nobody was watching but those same 10 faithful tea sippers. And I appreciate y'all to this day. They be in the comment every time, hey, T. But nobody was coming over there. So eventually, after a month of nobody watching, my numbers going down on YouTube, even though I wasn't getting paid, I went back to YouTube and I said, you know what? I'm going to just have to build a whole new channel from scratch. And that's when I built my LovelyT 2013 channel. I got that monetized, and that ended up turning into Lovely News Network, which is now True Crime Tea Time. So that's where that channel came from. Y'all remember that? Memories? Uh-huh. So, I mean, like I said, I've been there. You can't, human beings are creatures of habit. And if what's popping is YouTube, I had to adjust. I had to put my ego aside. Even though I was mad, I was upset, it was unfair. But that was my issue with YouTube. That wasn't my audience issue. My audience was here to support me, but because of my ego and me being hurt, I tried to bring everybody to Daily Motion, and everybody was like, yeah, well, we'll just see you later. And kept it moving. So I learned that back, and I was in my 20s back then. So I learned that a long time ago. People are not going to leave their comfort zone. You have to adjust. So I came back and I built myself up again from scratch. And then eventually, once damn Gamergate was over, they realized they were wrong. They reinstated my monetization on this channel and sent me my money. And that money is what helped me move to LA. Yep. But I remember when it happened, though, it was messed up. And that's what taught me a long time ago. Never put all your eggs in one basket. So Charlamagne, you can't be mad at nobody but yourself. You got paid a huge bag from Netflix. You were thinking about the money. You were not thinking about your audience. Also, let's not forget, Netflix is not free, boo-boo. Did we forget that we're in a recession? We're in a war with Iran? Gas prices are sky high. Everybody's tired of paying for streaming services. Netflix keeps raising their price. Back in the day it was $9. Now it's upwards of what, $25, I believe, is how much I pay for Netflix. Everybody don't have the luxury. It's one thing if Netflix was free and you're like, dang, why ain't y'all coming to watch me on Netflix? Because it costs money. YouTube is free. So he wasn't thinking about his audience. He was thinking about the bag, and now it's, it's blown up in his face. I think they said Fat Joe took his ass over there too. Who else got a Netflix deal? They said a bunch of them struggle rappers got, because, the rap ain't working for them now. All they do is sit around and gossip. They said Fat Joe got a Netflix deal too. Yeah, it used to be $7.99 way, way back in the day. So that's the thing. He's not thinking like, we're living in rough times right now. You have to think realistically. Everybody don't have it to pay. They'll watch your old stuff on YouTube, but they're not necessarily gonna, and then there's no more password sharing. So it's not like you can really share passwords anymore on Netflix. So that's asking a lot of your audience to now come out of pocket $25 a month that they may or may not have to watch you on a podcast when they were watching you for the past 15 years for free on YouTube. And that's how he's trying to blame folks and, well, y'all can sit here and talk about America's Next Top Model because a documentary was on Netflix. Okay, that's fine. But do you also understand that maybe some people went to their parents' house to watch it? Or maybe they had their brother log into the computer so they could watch it? Or hell, it's on bootleg now if you know where to look for it. Everybody's not going to sit there and bootleg The Breakfast Club. It's not that serious. So, I don't feel bad for none of them. Y'all chose the bag and that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with getting a bag. But understand that chasing that bag can sometimes affect other things. Yeah, Netflix, I don't know, it's between $23 and $25. Netflix is very expensive now. Especially now, if you wanted HD, it's like, that costs money. If you want it ad-free, that costs money. So it's like you might as well just get the highest package and have them leave you the hell alone. Yeah. So he's not thinking about that. Netflix, Hulu, and Apple are free with a T-Mobile plan. Oh, shit, I didn't know that. I just switched to T-Mobile because I was having all these phone issues with Metro PCS. I switched to T-Mobile 2 weeks ago. Let me go ahead and call T. Thank you, Sierra. I'll go ahead and screenshot that comment. I'll be calling T-Mobile shit because I pay. Do I pay? No, I don't pay for Hulu. I got somebody's Hulu password. Somebody daddy. I got a few guys to give me their password. Let me go ahead and get that Star's password. Somebody daddy done gave me their Hulu. I have no shame. I'm sorry. Hell, the whole LA had my Netflix password at one time. At one point in time, everybody in LA had my password for Netflix. It got so bad I couldn't log on and watch a show. I said, what kind of shit is this? Everybody's just on my Netflix at the same time. So yeah, I have no shame. Hell, I done had Tay ask one of his friends, like, hey, tell your friend to run that Disney Plus passcode. My mom needs your Disney. Yep, sure do. Because I get tired of paying for all this streaming shit. Should be free any damn way. That stuff adds up. I pay for Amazon Prime and all that stuff. All that stuff adds up. Somebody said the same, T. Yeah, I got a few people's little passwords. Like, go ahead and share that password with me, Daddy. He's Zaddy. Oh my God. But yeah, I don't feel bad for Charlamagne. Good luck to them. I just think people are, they're creatures of habit. People are not going to leave YouTube. And then he was like kind of low-key throwing shade at commentators who were talking about it, calling them haters and just some other stuff he was saying. And it's just like, no, I don't think it's that. But you got to understand that, commentary is being done by everybody. Like anybody now can open up their phone or set up a YouTube channel and give their opinion about stuff. Nobody really cares anymore about like any mainstream opinions or celebrity opinions. I think the reason why we really liked the Breakfast Club initially, and especially Charlamagne, was because he was so unfiltered. Did he cross the line at times? Absolutely. But he kept it a lot more real back then too. And now we get this like Zen watered down version of Charlamagne. I'm not paying $25 for that. Now, if you was going in and, if this was the old Charla, maybe. But nobody's going to be paying $25 for you to be like, yeah, just go to counseling. Yeah, I'm in therapy. Whatever. I'm just saying.
Want the latest news in the streets? Join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the LovelyT TV show. Bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the LovelyT TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.